Neville Goddard was a spiritual teacher and mystic who taught that your imagination is God and that consciousness is the only reality. He believed that everything you experience in life originates in the mind. One of his core teachings was the law of assumption, which is the idea that whatever you assume to be true, with belief and feeling, eventually hardens into fact. It is not simply wishing for something or hoping it might happen. It is the deliberate act of entering into the state of the wish fulfilled and assuming it as real now. This teaching stands in contrast to the law of attraction because it is not about drawing something toward you through desire. It is about embodying the reality of the desired state and living from it. The law of assumption operates on the principle that belief is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. Whatever you assume to be true becomes true in your experience. But there is something many people face when attempting to use this law consistently: resistance. Resistance shows up as doubt, fear, anxiety, impatience, or any negative emotion that tells you, consciously or unconsciously, this isn't working. When you try to affirm that you are abundant, but your body feels tense and your mind replies with disbelief, that is resistance. And it is normal. Every new assumption will be met with some level of inner contradiction. The key is not to fight the resistance directly, but to dissolve it through awareness and practice. To overcome resistance, you must begin by identifying it. Observe your inner dialogue. What thoughts come up when you imagine having what you want? Are you hearing voices that say it is not possible, that it is too late, or that you are not good enough? These are the subconscious patterns that need to be addressed. One of the most effective techniques for softening resistance is visualization. When you visualize, you are not just seeing an image, you are stepping into a scene with your full senses. You feel the environment, you hear the sounds, you notice the subtle details. The more vivid the image, the more real it becomes to the subconscious. Neville often spoke about the importance of imagining scenes that would take place after your desire has been fulfilled. This places you in the state of the wish already being completed. Affirmations also help, but not robotic statements repeated without feeling. Instead, use affirmations that spark emotional resonance. Instead of saying, "I am wealthy," without conviction, try something like, "It feels natural to be provided for." "I always find myself in the right place at the right time." These affirmations can bypass the critical mind and land more softly in the subconscious. Alongside affirmations, emotional release exercises can be powerful. Simply feeling the resistance in the body and allowing it to exist without judgment helps release it. Often the problem is not the resistance itself, but our fight against it. When you meet it with softness and awareness, it begins to dissolve. Persistence is a crucial element. Neville emphasized that you must persist in the assumption. You cannot jump back and forth between belief and doubt. The more you return to the state of the wish fulfilled, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, it feels familiar, and when it feels familiar, it manifests. It becomes a part of your identity. Living from the end means you are no longer asking when it will happen. You are already living in the state where it has happened. This is the core of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is not waiting for proof, it is becoming the proof. Visualization becomes even more powerful when you engage all of your senses. See it, hear it, feel it, smell it, and even taste it. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you repeatedly visualize your desired reality with emotion, you are rewiring your internal blueprint. Add to that the power of emotion. Neville said that feeling is the secret. Without emotion, your visualization is just daydreaming. But when you feel the joy, the peace, or the gratitude that would come from having your desire, you activate the creative power within. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to stay aligned with your assumption. Be grateful now. not just for what you have, but for what is coming. Gratitude collapses the gap between your current state and your desired state. It brings you into harmony with what you've already claimed in imagination. Reframing your thoughts is also essential. When a limiting belief arises, instead of fighting it, replace it gently with something empowering. If you catch yourself thinking, "This is too hard," pause and say, "Things unfold with ease. Life is guiding me every step of the way." It's not about denying your current reality, but choosing which reality you want to give your energy to. Trusting the process means letting go of the need to control how or when it happens. You do not need to micromanage the universe. Your job is to assume the end and live from it. The unfolding is not your responsibility. It is handled by the intelligence that governs all creation. Your part is belief, repetition, and emotional alignment. The rest takes care of itself. To ground this in real life, let's look at some examples. A woman once used the law of assumption to manifest her dream apartment. She had been denied over and over, but began to imagine herself living there, feeling the keys in her hand, cooking in the kitchen, and waking up in the sunlight. Within weeks, someone dropped out of the lease, and it was offered to her. Another man used the technique to heal his financial life. Instead of focusing on debt, he began to live mentally in a state of financial freedom. He created a mental movie of himself paying bills with ease, taking vacations, and giving generously. Slowly but surely, opportunities began showing up, and his income increased in unexpected ways. Daily practice is how this becomes part of your life. Make it a habit to check in with your inner state. Are you thinking from your desire or about your desire? There is a difference. Thinking from it means it is done. Thinking about it means it is still separate. Throughout the day, redirect your focus. Use small cues like affirmations, short visualizations, or even a simple breath to realign with your chosen assumption. Finally, understand that manifestation is not a one-time event. It is a way of life. It is the daily decision to choose belief over doubt, clarity over fear, and persistence over passivity. Every assumption you hold is a seed, and every day you water that seed through imagination, emotion, and trust. Some seeds sprout quickly, others take time, but they all respond to the same law. What you assume to be true becomes true. Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy gave us profound tools to reshape our lives from the inside out. The law of assumption is not a trick or technique. It is a return to your rightful power as a creator. When you align your inner world with your chosen reality, the outer world must conform. That is the promise. Assume wisely, persist boldly, and trust fully, because the life you want is already waiting for you to claim it.